Hello and welcome back, Rugby Hub viewers. We are back with another episode, and today we'll quickly do a short recap of the Boks playing
Spicy.
Ireland, and then after that we'll obviously transition over to the Boks playing Tonga this weekend. Goran, you were in Paris. I mean, I was so jealous, to be honest. I had to sell that ticket, but tell us about it. It looked like it was quite an atmosphere. I heard the Boks were quite outnumbered.
Boks were definitely outnumbered by the Irish fans. I think like something like 5-1. But I can't tell you. I think after the game, I was looking for a liver transplant. It's been brutal. I think for all the South African fans that was there, had the same experience. It was a lot of fun. But I'll tell you one thing, Gabsy. There's nothing I hate more than an online Irish fan, and even more hatred goes to the online Springbok fan. I mean, the guys at the stadium, the Irish fans, were incredible. They were so much fun. Showed a lot of
Just be careful because you're
as
speaking
we
to
call
our
it, gears.
online fans there now. You're speaking to some
Not
people
our
that's
online
online.
fans, obviously. I'm talking about the guys on Facebook who's ranting about why the ref was this and why there's so
Yeah.
many foreign-born players and just banging out all the excuses. But no, after the game, we sang with the Irish fans. They were super fun, and yeah, the atmosphere there was just incredible. Something that I'm very glad I was a part of. But anyways,
No,
Gabsy, you
yes.
saw the game on TV. What did you take out of that
Yeah, I
Ireland
mean,
victory?
I literally stayed sober up until 9 o'clock because I really wanted to watch this game. I didn't want to miss a minute, and have to say, it was a massive game. Can't help to ask myself. I mean, first of all, congratulations to Ireland this time round. No excuses. We didn't take the points. Possibly
Yeah,
one could
no, they were
argue both
extremely
teams
good.
maybe held something back, and I mean that's quickly what I want to touch on. I mean, for me, Faf de Klerk from the kickoff spreading the ball wide to Colby. I don't know if we'll see that in a knockout game. The same goes for playing a 7-1 split. You have seven fresh forwards off the bench in the second half. You know you're not kicking well. You don't have a goal kicker that's kicking anything over, and then you don't go for the corner and opt for a maul. I mean, we've
Yeah.
done that against the All Blacks with the 7-1 split where we tried all the different variations in the maul and worked really well. So I have to put a few question marks out there. Were Jock and Rassie holding something back? Not making
Mm.
excuses, just a question. I don't know, fans, maybe you can tell us what do
But
you make of, the decision making of that
Gabsy, I
game?
think personally, right, and I think the fans will agree with me. I think this whole idea of throwing the game or deliberately losing, I think that's a bunch
No,
of
I'm not
bullshit.
saying we're deliberately losing. I'm just saying
Of
like
course
some of
not.
the
Of
decision
course not.
making was a bit interesting.
Of course not.
So
But
that's
to
what I'm
that point,
saying.
Gabsy,
Yeah,
I know I 100%. What's interesting to me is the different way that we played with seven forwards on the bench against Ireland than
yeah,
what we played with seven forwards against on the bench against New Zealand, where it actually worked, right?
yeah.
Like you said, going for points instead of just keeping the pressure on by using one of our great strengths, the maul,
With seven
and
forwards off the
also.
bench, fresh, of course. Yeah,
And also, Ireland was extremely smart at the breakdown, right? And that's where our three fetchers that we had on the bench were great on their ball at the breakdown. But when it was our possession, we needed those big bodies,
yeah,
the Dwayne Vermeulens, the Marks, those guys who actually can secure to make sure that we have the ball. So they were
yeah.
incredibly smart in their approach. Both teams definitely didn't show their hand, but the intensity was there,
Yeah.
and
No, I could see
that's
that.
why everyone says what a great game it was, because
Yeah.
everyone gave their everything. So
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I can just testify on that. Every neutral fan I've spoken to, they said to me, like, this has probably been one of the most intense games they've seen in a very, very long time. And nobody really wants to play the
I
Box
mean,
or
it's
Ireland
a
after that
final
game,
and a pool stage.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, going
Yeah.
touching on that, interesting choices. Let's transition over to this weekend's team selection. I mean, we see once again an
Mm,
interesting team being selected. Lots of changes being made. I think 12 changes. I mean, there is
12. Yeah.
a pre-match conference where Faf de Klerk speaks to SuperSport, a South African a broadcaster, where they basically talk about how the Springboks have been training the entire time, the entire training camp in different positions. Do you think this is the real test to see if we are comfortable in these different positions? Where you have a guy like Dion Fourie starting for the Springboks at hooker,
Yeah.
Marku coming off the bench as a hooker,
He's the
again
backup
Grant on the
hooker.
wing. Exactly. You have
Four
Grant on the
scrum
wing.
offs. Yeah. You know,
Exactly.
Gabsy, I think this has got a lot to do with what Rassie Erasmus said for the 2019 World Cup. It's about choosing the right players instead of necessarily the best players, right? They need the right players to execute the plan that Jacques Nienaber and the players and everyone has invested in. And if you do that, then, and luckily for us, I mean, we have a lot of versatility within our players that can play in different positions to execute that plan, right? So I think that's one thing that we need to be mindful of. The other thing is that we haven't yet had our bye week. The new sort of rule that they put into this Rugby World Cup is that within the pool stages, every team gets a week off. We haven't yet had our bye week. Our bye week comes before the quarterfinals, right? So whoever's not playing who's not in the Springboks lineup for this game is gonna have 3 weeks off before actually playing in a quarterfinal,
That's a long
right?
time.
So that's why you see a bit of a mixture. It's a long time if you consider the fact that you want to be match fit going into
Yeah.
the quarterfinals. So it's a must win for us this weekend, right? We need that bonus point, and
Yeah.
I think we'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think maybe they should arrange a game like Ireland had a game behind closed doors against close friends Namibia before they fly back home, just for a bit of match fitness. But anyways, we
Yeah.
also don't want a broken jawbone for Faf de Klerk or someone like that. I heard that actually they offered De Poor that the Namibia team can also sign a jersey for him and take it to the hospital, but apparently he rejected that.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
that would be great respect. But to that point, I mean, France is 50% without him. But I guess
yeah.
that let's first
Let's
get
not
to the
let's not
quarterfinal.
get into that. Yeah, let's not get into
Yeah.
that topic. I mean, we know what the Boks need this weekend. It's simple. They need a bonus point. One last point I want to touch on. I mean, there's been a lot of changes in this team. Obviously, Dwayne Vermeulen also at seven flank, but one huge name in that lineup
Mm,
is Andre Pollard. I mean, Andre Pollard is back. Jock and Rassi said to the fans, to everyone, guys, don't expect Pollard to be Superman. He can't just come back and kick and
mm.
tackle and ruck and maul and do everything. I don't expect him to play a full game with money on the bench. I mean, I also think it would be stupid to play him for a full game. He's only had, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes of playing time rugby with his club, and I think
Yeah.
he's over a year since he's played for the Boks. What do you make of him
Yeah.
being back? What's your thought on that?
Well, look, I think he needs to get through 60 minutes. The important thing I think that Jock Ninoba and Rossi mentioned is it's not just about the kicking. Everyone wants to see him back because he kicked so well for us in the past. British and Irish Lions series, the Rugby World Cup in 2019. But he needs to get through defense. He needs to get through like making his tackles, hitting the rucks. He needs to get through, everything that the Tonga and the big boys are going to throw at him, right? Those are the things that I think they're more concerned about. Can he get through that international physicality for 60 minutes? I mean, I think that's the plan, and I don't think we're going to see Andre Pollard move to 12, with
I
Moni
also really
Liberal
don't
coming
hope
in at
so. I
10.
mean, I really don't hope so because we have two
Look,
of the
I'm
best
a big
inside
fan of
centers.
Moni,
Yeah, I know, but we have two
right?
massive inside centers that would just ruin everything for me. Like our ball carriers,
Yeah,
Andre
changes
Esterhuizen
the
and Damien
plan.
de Allende, you can't go and fool around with that right now. I mean, let's not
No.
dig into this too much. Goody, I mean, let's also ask the fans, guys, who do you think will wear that 10 jersey? Should Andre Pollard have a good outing on Sunday? Who do you guys pick to play in the quarterfinals then? I mean, for
And
you
more
also,
on that, Gabsy, which
yeah,
shirt is up for grabs here? For the
yeah.
quarterfinals, is there any shirt that someone can come out and prove themselves against Tonga? Maybe a Kane and Moody, maybe Mapimpi. I think Kurtley Orange hasn't been quite as impactful as he has been in the past. So, what are we looking at here? Right? You let us know in the comments. I
I
think
agree. I
that's
mean, I
a
also think even a
good
guy
shout.
like Kobus Reinach, I mean, he's been phenomenal every time he's had a chance to
Mm.
play, where there has been some question marks around Faf, not just because of his kicking, but in general play. So let's see. Guys, let us know who do you think can still make it into the team, and let us know who do you think will potentially be the 10 for the Boks in the quarters. With that, Goran, what is your score prediction here for the Superbru?
I'm going box by 28. Heard it here
Box
first. If
Box
I'm
by
incorrect.
28. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you.
go box by 40. We need a proper win. We need to get a bonus point,
You're a
and we need
weapon.
to hammer them. But with that, let's quickly
All right.
touch on Tonga. I mean, let's not forget the last time we played Tonga, it was a really close game. 30-25, the last World Cup, no, 2007 World Cup. But I mean,
30-25, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 5 point
We
game.
went into that game way too comfortable. We thought Tonga will be a relative walkover for us in our in our road to the final, but it was quite the opposite. They brought the game to the Springboks. It was a massive scare. I remember that game. And yeah, with a different bounce of the ball, that game could have gone to Tonga, which would have changed the whole outset of that World Cup. So I think we shouldn't be too complacent going into this game. I think the Tongas aren't what they were in 2007 and in 2011, but they've still got some magicians in that backline. As their props are big, strong men as well. So I think we need to be quite careful in that. So I
Yeah,
think Siya Kolisi is very much aware.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, let's not forget they had two very difficult games against Ireland and Scotland. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go back on my word. I said box by 40. I do think we should not write them off, but it's important that, we just, from the get-go, make sure we take the points on the board, we score the tries that we get, and we start walking away from that game. It's going to be a
Be
massive game.
patient. Don't let that game get to loose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure. It's going to be important that we take the points that
Anyway,
we
good.
in the first half, build up, rack up that scoreboard, and make sure that we secure our place in the quarterfinals. Anyways, guys, please let us know what you guys will think will happen this weekend. Thank you for the continuous support. Also, we will give a shout out to our Superbru pool members and the leaders after this round before we slowly make our way to the quarters. I mean, there's one more round, but thanks for all the support, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and also drop a comment below, share with friends and family, and enjoy the rugby this weekend.
Good luck on Superbru. Cheers, lads.